G'day everyone. So I've got this tool idea that I got from old mate Sawyer, Rob Sawyer, and he made this little handheld shrinking unit and out of a set of bolt croppers. So I've gone down and bought a set of bolt croppers, and the reason I've done it is on this job I need to shrink a flange down a little bit, and where sort of the position it's sitting, it's facing up a little bit and won't sit properly because I need to extend out a little bit for the firewall on this job. So I want to shrink that edge down a little bit, and a little handheld unit would be pretty nice to be able to do this. I have looked online and you're looking probably 2,000 US for what I've found for one of these units, and you can make them out of a set of bolt croppers. So I've gone and got a set, and I have a spare shrinking jaw set that I had in the kick shrinker. So I'm going to use my spare set and mount them to this. It'll just be a bolt-in thing, so if you do have a shrinker stretcher already, you can use your existing jaws that you have and just swap them out to this machine. So I'll cut some blanks out and cut some patterns out and sort of lay it out and kind of talk about how I'm going to do this and weld it in the design, and hopefully it works. So we'll see and see how this goes. It'll be a handy tool, not a tool that I will use all the time, but in that case of where you do need to shrink something on a job, it's going to be handy, and it's something that's on the shelf ready to go. And because I don't use it all the time, can't justify the $2,000 to go buy a set, but I'll make it and do it on this job. It's pretty much the first time I've needed to shrink something on a car. I'd normally have panels off and that sort of thing, but this is on the firewall, so can't take that off. On the bulkhead, and I'll be making the firewall. So this is what I've cut out. Done the top plate, bottom plate, drilled a hole, and I've run a bolt up in through here to fully bolt in the shrink jaws, and then I've gone and clamped it up and put the shrink jaws under compression and closed these arms. And I've done that because I wouldn't want these arms open a little bit. Otherwise it's not going to close properly, or it'll have too much tension under it. So if I need to down the track, I can put a shim up under here and up here if I need to space it out a little bit to get a little bit more shrink action, but I think as that sits, that's going to be fine. And then these are the backbone, so that'll jump up in there and give that a lot more rigidity. So I've got to tack it all up. It's looking pretty ugly. I might shape some things a little bit, but for now I'll just get the job done. I'll do a little gusset up in here too, just to stiffen it up as well, and then cut some of this material out in the back here, because as the sheet metal flange is in here, I don't want to be cutting that flange, and also it'll give you a little extra that you can put a bit more material in there. So it's looking pretty good. Tack it up, see how it goes. tacked up and in working order. So I've tacked it up as well. It makes it a little easier for me to make a gusset for this. So now I can make a template and do that, and I'll get my pen and mark along here and cut some of this material out, tack that gusset in, fully weld it, and test it, see how it works. By the look of it, the motion is right, so it's looking good. Little gusset is welded in, grinded it back, sort of squared it off a little bit, just made it a little neater so there's not a weld running along here. And I've also skinnied it up a little bit and trimmed a little bit more material off there. It was quite beefy, so that's the other one. And then this is this side, so I'll trim this side up and get it looking nice. Because yeah, I didn't like that look, so I just wanted it to be a little bit nicer, same as though to be staying around for a bit. Just something that I'll point out here, where this pivot pin is and where it sits here, you want to leave enough material on the shoulder just in here. I've rounded it off a little bit so there's no cutting action there, but also just make sure you have enough meat there so this pin can never bust out. All right, test run time. I've folded up a little piece of scrap metal that I had laying around, and then we'll test it, see how it goes. I'll clamp it up, and I think it'll work pretty good. I did just do a little test piece a second ago for an Instagram reel, but we'll see how this goes. I'll give it a decent shrink this time, and it works great. To be honest, it works a lot better than I even thought it would, and it really shrinks and brings around these edges nicely. So I think that's going to be pretty handy for on-the-job application. Not something that I would really use all the time, but I think that this is going to be a pretty trick and pretty handy tool. So that's it, and as you can see, it's just curved that around nicely. There's heaps of curve to that, and that's it. So tool's done, complete. That's how it's looking, and not bad. I actually quite like this. This is going to be a bit more handy than I think, actually, because I do remember when I was doing the back of this car, I needed a few boys in the shop to lift the back end because I had it together, and we had to lift the whole thing up, the three of us, and get the kick shrinker out and do a shrink. So something like that with just fine tuning an edge or doing something on a job, I think it's going to be really good. So this is a great result, and what a handy tool. So that's it for this tool. It's been a pretty great little tool. It's another one to add to the arsenal of tools, so it'll be a handy little thing. Glad I made it, and just thought I'd share this tool, and I'll try and do a few other tool things, whether I'm painting a tool, making a tool, or anything. So it's always good to keep adding to the collection, and more things to make the jobs a lot easier too. So I'll keep you guys updated with things like this as well. And cheers for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.